did my final year show in 2001, and then September of that year would have been 9/11. So I think that impacted travel at that period of history. So I wasn't really traveling. For years I really wasn't traveling. So me expressing the idea that I'm going to collect masks from all over the world and so on, it seemed far-fetched and like a fantasy, and have these masks right behind me now, and these experiences, and I'll share others as the journey continues, but I can't deny the reality of God. I can't deny the reality of God. I see His grand design in a lot of areas of life, not just in nature, but I see Him designing a life for me. As I see my life unfold, I'm seeing His design. And where there is intelligent design, there's an intelligent designer behind it. And when I saw that, I was talking to her, and she said when I was talking to her, it really sounded like a fantasy. Then I got the chance to go to Tanzania. And one of the first things I decided to buy was a few masks. I just get one mask, and then I started to get more. And, I have them now. I started the collection, and I expect it to grow as I get exposed to other territories and other artists and so on. I really like faces and so on, and masks in general, but that was really a wonderful experience. Tanzania was a beautiful place. I also got to see animals in the wild. Growing up, I was a big fan of National Geographic and Discovery, always watching documentaries, like from as far back as I can remember. Anybody close to my family knows that about me, that from a child I've always been watching documentaries about animals and so on. So when I got the chance to go on a safari and see the animals in the wild, it was like a dream come true. I was fighting back tears when I saw like a family of elephants and the savannah, and zebras and giraffes and monkeys and baboons, and just seeing all of them, lions in the wild, a lioness up in a tree. Just all these experiences were so amazing, and I got the chance to interact with a beautiful people. The people of Tanzania are warm and friendly and beautiful people. They actually cried when we were leaving. They said that we were probably their favorite group visiting the Geosciences Center there in Tanzania. Persons actually cried. It was such a wonderful experience. Got to see Abu Dhabi briefly, got to see Belgium, which I enjoyed immensely. My journey as a creative professional has really opened up so many things, and I've met so many people as a result of it. And that period of life, 2017, was really a high point of my life. But 3 years later, I would experience my sister passing, my sister Kerry/Marie. So 3 years after Tanzania, my sister Marie dies, and I've heard my niece express her concerns about how I'm dealing with it. Even just talking about her right now, I am trying not to get too emotional, It's an aspect of my life that is still very hard to deal with. And when I heard my niece outline that she doesn't think that I have gotten over the death of her mom, it's very difficult to get past it, because she was my older sister. She was older than me by 3 years. So coming into this life, this person is the first friend I ever had in this world. I spent most of my life around her. I spent most of my hours and days around my sister, more than any other family member. I spent most of my life with her. So when she left this world, it felt like a big piece of me was just yanked out, you know. She died on my mom's birthday, you know, August 12, 2020, you know. That day was like the whole world stopped on that day, you know. Unfortunately, I had my wife to comfort me at that time, and even before my sister died, one of my closest cousins, Winston, died. One of my favorite cousins as well, Auntie Charmaine. You know, when I went to Edna College, for the entire 4 years I was there, I had art supplies to last me for the entire 4 years. And that was because of Auntie Charmaine. Auntie Charmaine was one of these people who always believed in me and never held back in expressing how much she appreciated me and believed in me. She was one of these people always rooting for me, and when she heard that I got into art school, she invested in my journey as a creative professional, and she reinforced over and over and over again that I was going to make a mark in the creative industries. Boy, when you have people like that, they are irreplaceable. When these kind of people leave the world, I don't even have words to compare it to anything. It's just like a massive, massive loss when somebody like that dies. You don't have a lot of people in this life, unfortunately, that root for people, that encourage people. Yeah, I can find thousands of people who will critique and criticize your efforts and speak discouragingly, diminish your efforts, make less of who you are. Yeah, you can find people like that without any effort at all. But when you find people in your life that really believe in you to the point where you start believing in yourself, it's a rare thing. It's a rare thing. And Auntie Charmaine was a rare lady. And she died before my sister did. And when I thought things could not get any worse, you know, my primary source of comfort and encouragement and love outside of God in this world, you know, my late wife Renna, she died as well. Why? May 25th, 2023 will forever be etched in my mind, because that period of time felt like a part of me died as well. You know, when you hear the concept of a man becoming one with his wife, I realized in that period of time that it's not a concept. I realized that she really became my other self. She really was my other self, my ideal opposite. She was that. She was my ideal opposite. Boy, like running home from the studio was my daily thing. After my work was done, I really just wanted to be home. Like, she was my literal safe space in this world. Renna was my safe space. Yeah, like I could just share what was on my mind. Just have these talks with her and bounce ideas and flesh things out. And she was an extraordinary person. She was just an extraordinary person. Just even-tempered, loving, supportive. Whether I was winning or whether I took a hit, whether I was on top and there was elation and praise, or whether I was in a space of despondency and fighting discouragement. This woman was always respectful and always supportive. And I'm telling you, I've had some very candid discussions with some of my very close friends who were married. And all of them would say to me, Wazari, you have no idea how fortunate you are. It was a common thing to always hear that from my brothers, my friends who had wives. They would just observe that Renna is always by your side. She's always supporting you. Whether you are winning or losing, you were never a loser to her. And to be honest, it is a rare thing in this life to find people like that. It is a rare thing, and glory to God, I was fortunate enough to experience that. To experience somebody who is with you. Not for your circumstances, not for what you have, not for what you can give them, not for the sake of wanting you to make a better life for them. This person was invested in me, the person. And I've had conversations since her passing where people would tell me that I have to get over her and so on. But you would have to understand what I lost. You would have to understand what I lost to be able to assess my rate of recovering from mourning. I did not lose someone ordinary. I lost someone who was very rare. And in this present life, it is rare to find people like that. It is very rare. I know that ladies like that still exist, but you don't come across them every day. It's not easy to find somebody like that. So when you get that once in a lifetime experience that is actually unconditional love. I've heard the term all my life growing up. I've heard about unconditional love, but to be fortunate enough to experience it, to be fortunate enough to know in your being that you are prepared to grow old and die with this person, and to be at a place where you would want to just live that life with this one person and just want to just be in that state until you death do you part. You know, just have a long time of it though, you know, because death has parted us, but